In the spring of 2021, the Grand Valley State University Archaeological Field School took place right here at Eastmanville Farm Park. The park has a rich history of use by Native Americans, the Reilly family, a county poor farm, followed by a care facility called Community Haven, and finally, the farm park we have today. So, why did the field school take place at the park? Well, all archaeology starts with a question. The question here was, where is the original Reilly cabin from the 1930s, and where is the later Midway House foundation? The Reilly cabin was not found. However, the Midway House foundation was found, and several units were excavated in its area. Students did a combination of archival research, interviews, land surveys, and excavation throughout the course of 6 weeks. Evidence of Native Americans was found during pedestrian surveys where students walked the agricultural fields, finding bifaces. Shovel test pits were conducted by the Grand River as well, where a small site of prehistoric pottery was found. Students found the experience pivotal to acquiring a career in archaeology.
It was the course that I've been waiting on to finish my degree, and once I finished that degree, I was able to go on to a successful start of a career in archaeology. And I was very thankful to the lessons and teachings that I learned at the Eastmanville Poor Farm, because I used those exact skills in my new job across the country.
We've got a ton of historic projects, and local historians. Margie Vivian's done a ton of different things, and you've got that one piece of the puzzle. But when you go into these spaces that they've never been investigated before, you really uncover that second side of the surface, and you find out narratives and stories that are not going to be told on paper or even in person by people who lived in those moments. And the beauty of archaeology is you're not only pulling up the material culture, but you're pulling up the stories, the experiences, and everything else that's associated with that object that you might be looking at, or anything else that comes back into the lab.
At the start of field school, the first thing conducted was pedestrian surveys. For this, students paired up and then stood 10 meters apart as they lined the south end of a field that was tilled for farming. We then walked north towards the other end of the field, scanning the ground with our eyes to look for any materials sitting on the surface of the ground. As we walked, we marked with a flag where items were found. During our pedestrian surveys, we found 3 bifaces, transfer print ceramics, pipe stem, as well as many small pieces of glass, both colored and clear. While looking for the Reilly cabin location, students conducted shovel test pits along the Grand River. This was done by digging a hole 60 inches deep and roughly a foot wide every 10 meters along the riverbank. Though no evidence was found of the Reilly settlement, a small site with prehistoric pottery was found, demonstrating the use of this area by Native Americans. After we found little more than prehistoric pottery down by the riverbank, the majority of the group continued to do shovel test pits, but this time in a small field near the front of Eastmanville Farm Park. Experiences like these are integral to students' hopes for future careers in archaeology. Thank you for watching our sharing of our experience. I'm Dane McAllister of the GVSU Anthropology Department, wishing you a great day.